Thank you, everyone, for coming to my grad party. It means a lot to have all of my family and friends here to celebrate on a special day. With that being said, I would like to honor someone who has been with me through it all and has helped me over these last 18 years to develop me into the person I am today. Dad, you've been the best father I could ever ask for, and I love you for being the most humorous, friendly, caring, and hardworking person I know. In your honor, I'm going to share some of the best stories I have of the both of us that will help people understand why you are such an extraordinary person, friend, father, and role model. My dad is probably the funniest person I know, whether it is by his actions, words, or behavior. He seems to be my go-to person for laughter and positivity. One distinct moment in my life that I remember was when he helped me bring this to light, that will help me bring this to light, is when we went fishing with what he calls Captain Nicky No Time. That was the captain's name. And we took a charter boat out of Brooklyn, New York. I remember we had a big striper on the line, and the boatmate said, "Fish on." The fishing pole shrieked as it bent forwards, meaning that we had a big one. You went to go get the rod, but you fell because the boat was slippery, and you screamed, "Whoa!" And your glasses flew off your face, and a huge bang vibrated the floor as you collapsed on the boat. The funniest part was when you got up and you made a weird wheezing noise, like you were out of breath. I mean, obviously you were not out of breath, but like the noise was funny anyways. And the boatmate had to get the rod for us because we were laughing so hard. Luckily, we reeled in the fish and we were able to eat it for dinner that night. Now, you may not remember that, Dad, but it was one of the funniest moments I've had with you. It's the little things, the little mistakes that make you such a funny person. You tell the best jokes, and I'm glad I get to share a humorous side with you. Along with being humorous, my dad can be very serious and hardworking. In fact, he's probably one of the most hardworking people I know. Along with being hardworking, he can be very courageous. My dad works like a robot, staying up hours upon hours, hardly getting any sleep, but still managing to push through. As a radiologist, not only does my dad have to see a lot of patients, but his job requires people who can deal with pressure, who can be confident in their decisions, and someone who has to live with making some of the biggest mistakes, such as wrongfully diagnosing a patient. But that's very rare for my dad. I can remember calling you one time to talk about school, and you were very serious and almost nervous. I asked you what was wrong, and you replied, "I made the wrong call today with a patient. I have to get back to work. Goodbye." And I was a little pissed off at that moment, but I realized something about you in the phone call that has stuck with me today. You persevered through missing a call in work and just continued on to the next patient. I feel that most people would not be able to do that because they would live with that guilt. But you defeated that obstacle, and you were content with your decisions regardless of the outcome. It takes great courage to do the job that you do, and to be able to save the lives of thousands and thousands of people is just one of the factors that makes you special. Dad, not only are you the best father I could ask for, but you are my best friend. I feel like our connection is something on another level compared to what I have with other people. When we fight, it gets resolved in maybe a day. When I'm with you, whether it's working out with Andre or at your apartment in Philadelphia, I feel the most happy, and it eliminates all the negative things happening to me in my life. My favorite part about being with my dad is when we talk about sports. My dad got me the best present any sports fan would enjoy. When I was about 10 years old, close to my birthday, my dad came home with a present, an oversized white with red stripes Shane Victorino's jersey with a huge number 8 on the back with VICTORINO all in caps above it. I asked him excitedly, "Are we going to a game?" He replied with a huge smile on his face and said, "Even better." So we got into my dad's car and drove to Center City, and we arrived at a big house. And so this big red house, actually, it was on Broad Street, but I don't know the exact name. And so we got out of the car and let the valet park it. As we walked through the doors, I recognized a large, wide-shouldered man standing at 6'4", and I knew that night was going to be special. I looked up to my dad and said, "Is that Ryan Howard?" He looked down at me, smiling from cheek to cheek, and said, "Yes, my son, we are meeting the Phillies." Meeting all the players was one of the best moments of my life. My dad surprised me as a birthday gift to bring me to a place to meet all the players. This is just one of the moments we shared together and makes us best friends we are today. The biggest reason as to why my dad is my best friend is because of how caring he is and the unconditional love he shows. When I was younger, probably around 5 years old, my anxiety issues were at their worst. Today I still have anxiety issues, but not nearly as bad as they were back then. A lot of it has to do with the help from my dad, who has been there through it all and developed me step by step to decrease my anxiety. One example of this is when I had fear that my parents would not pick me up after school and I would be left alone, stranded. This obviously was not normal, but it was something that I needed to work on. After school, I would go back to my chess lesson with my chess coach, Glenn Beatty, where he would teach me the basics of chess. This was where my anxiety peaked because I was not sure that my parents would be there on time, and I thought they wouldn't come. Glenn told my parents about the issue, and my dad was the one who helped me out. We started by him being in the room with me the whole time. Then as each day went past, he would move closer and closer to his car, and then eventually he would leave. Eventually he got to the point where I didn't even notice him leaving, and he would always come back on time. One time he came 5 minutes late on purpose, and I did not even notice or get anxious. He helped me defeat my fear, and if it wasn't for his commitment, maybe I would not be able to play chess or even go out without my parents around. He did that for me, and his care impacts me to this day. So I hope that everyone has learned something as to why I always talk about how great of a dad I have. As it is time for me to graduate, I feel like I need to honor the person who has helped me get to this point the most. I cannot ask for someone as caring, courageous, humorous, and friendly to be my father. Dad, I love you with all my heart, and that will never change. I cannot wait for what the future holds, and I hope it is filled with great memories with you. Thank you.